Let's go ahead and get started with 1 o'clock marketing huddle. So I get cornered uh, by folks, not just Dominique today, but by other folks all the time. They go, "Hey, we aren't meeting right now. I have questions. I need help with things." So we're going to start out today, like Mike starts his in the mornings, with questions, and then if it's something we need to delve into further, uh, in person. I do have a got a minute hour in the afternoons around 2:30 to have folks stop by and actually get hands-on help with something. Because sometimes they're like, I know you told me like 3 times how to do that, but I don't know and I don't remember. So I need to sit there and have you hold my hand with it. I'll be glad to do that. We just have to do it during that time slot. That's the only thing right now. So, first of all, uh, let's go ahead and get started with questions. I know you guys have questions because you come to me and ask me, and don't be afraid to ask them in front of the room because there are no stupid questions. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I really completely delve to SEO, marketing, all web. I know that it's special and it does work. How do I get AI to help me do the SEO so that I can kind of like be laissez-faire with it, but it's
Okay.
sorry, what I'm saying.
That's a really good question.
Search engine
Yeah.
optimization.
Yeah.
My understanding of search engine optimization, which
Yeah.
is SEO, is that when people search something, you want your business to pop up. So Rob Rushing
Sure. Yeah.
we do Google profiles. I did do my Google profile.
Yeah.
Haven't been as active on updating it as I am with Facebook, but it's there. So I'm asking him essentially,
Sure.
how do I use AI to update my Google profile for search engine optimization so that when people type in homes in Atlanta or rentals in Atlanta or townhomes in Atlanta, my business page pops up to the top of the search.
Right. So that's a really good question, and I'm pretty sure you could hear her question. It's about how to use AI to increase your SEO. We'll leave it at that. Um, so I will get an answer for you on that. I don't have a one of the AI tools off the top of my head that will run with SEO, but I would do me a favor and shoot that email to me, and that'll spur me to remember to go ahead and knock that out. There are tons of them. That's my first answer. Tons of them. My second answer is not as good. Uh, that there are companies that spend, and I know because I worked for one of them, companies that spend $50,000 a month on SEO optimization, and you ain't gonna compete with them. They're gonna rule. They're gonna rule. This the same thing with marketing dollars. You're not going to compete with the Mark Spains of the world or whatever. It depends. They also spend a ton of money on SEO. So they come up organically now and sponsored both. So the good part of it is you can set it up and use AI tools and everything you can to get the best that you can to compete amongst your peers, and not just in this room or brokerage, but in all of Atlanta real estate. The ones that aren't the Mark Spains of the world. So we can get you an answer to that, and we'll help you get it set up and get it running smoothly. I just can't pull it out of the top of my head right now.
ChatGPT, I just don't know the prompts to give it to connect it to the
Right.
Google page to do. That's all. I just don't. I'm missing the gap.
So the quick answer to that is you need to have, whether it's meta tags, tags, wherever you need to hashtags. You need to be answering in the back end of your systems the questions that people are asking when they're searching. So it used to be where like your tags on your website, your SEO and everything would be like real estate and Roswell and Georgia and your name and Century 21. Now they're all more in the form of a question. Like you need to as closely match as possible what people are searching. And if they search buy a home in Roswell, then that needs to be one of your tags. That's going to help get you over people who just have Roswell or Georgia or real estate or buy a home or whatever in there. You need to closely as possible match those tags, those search results. Um, yeah, that could be one of them. Yeah. And you have a limited number of those too. So you need to make sure that you choose the ones wisely. Now, there are two AI tools that I will gladly cover, uh, maybe even tomorrow. Uh, and those tools help show you what people are searching for. And we went over that a little bit with Google Trends last week or week before. That's just one of them. That's an organic one. There are some AI ones as well, and they're building now their Google's new AI platform Gemini into Google Trends too. So that's going to be getting better as you go along. But that's a really good question about SEO, and I will do an entire one of these on that because that will take the whole 30 minutes. Big topic. Google Trends was the first one, and then I'm going to probably give you guys 3 or 4 AI apps that are separate, not part of Gemini. They're just separate AI platforms that have been built. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Follow up a little bit on that question.
Okay.
One is, how do you know where on the page to put the hashtag?
Okay.
I don't know where that goes.
So her question, yeah. Her question is, she doesn't know where to go, like on her Google business profile, or those places to put these kinds of tags. You want to put these things on all of your platforms. On your website, it's in the back end in a place. If it's a Moxie website, it's in the back end in a place in Moxie where you put these tags. On the website, they're called meta tags. Nothing to do with the company Meta. It's something to do with metadata. And on like your YouTube channel, it's under settings, which is under settings. So the second level of settings, there's a place to put these tags for your channel, and then you also put them on each video too. So there's different places to do it. I may take 2 of these back to back and just run through them and do them on the screen and record it and just put some in.
Google page, you mean if I were to update it with something.
Are you talking about your Google business profile? Okay. Here's the thing. That's changed. And remember, I told you guys last year that you needed 50 photos, 10 videos, 5 questions asked and answered, and 5 reviews. That changed the last week of March. You still need all of those things to cross the threshold. But used to, when you cross that threshold, you were put into a separate group with all of the other businesses who crossed that threshold. You were kind of like verified, but not the verified with the check mark or whatever. But to them, you were like, okay, this is a legit business. And we're going to put them in this category and show them up in search results. The 4th week of March this year, they changed it. And they changed the algorithm pretty big when it comes to Google business profiles. And now you want to have as many as possible when it comes to reviews. The more reviews you have, the more legit you are to them, which was not a key indicator before. Now it is. And secondly, they are rewarding people, businesses with Google business profiles who update them more frequently. So instead of just throwing up something once a week, like, hey, got an open house 2 to 4 on Saturday, here's the address, see you there. They're looking for daily, bi-daily updates. So every day, every other day, the more you update it and treat it like a real social media platform, the higher it's going to show up in search results. So work that into your schedule. 50 photos, 10 organically shot videos because they have to be under 29 seconds and under 100 megabytes. You can't do that in 1080p high definition on your phone. you have to open the settings on your phone, lower it to 720 standard definition, and then make your little video, post it onto your Google Business profile, and then go back into settings and change it back to 1080p. I want you guys running around recording the rest of the stuff in your life on standard definition. Don't forget to go back and change it right back.
How many megabytes?
Under 100 megabytes, which is hard to do with video. So I tell everyone, even at 720p, try to keep that thing around 20 seconds. Yeah, under 29 is a requirement, but if you want to be safe, keep it around 4. And you just pull out your phone and go, hey guys, got an open house on Saturday. It's this beautiful 5-bedroom, 4-bath, and a really, really, really desirable part of Roswell that's hard to get into. I'll be there from 2 to 4 on Saturday. Come by, take a look at it, let's have a conversation. Can't wait to see you. And then you're out. That's it. You're not getting fancy. You're not putting B-roll. You're not editing, doing anything. It's just an organic video. Definitely trim off the beginning and the end where you're going, I think it's recording. Yeah, yeah. Hi. Cut that stuff out. 10. That's the threshold. But the more, the better. No, you can put that in your copy that you put with the video. Put it in the text. Yeah, these are not ones that you send off to get edited. These are ones you shoot and then upload from your camera roll straight there. So that's why they're not fancy. They're not long. They can't be. They're just, it's a business. It's what's that? About 20 seconds. Yeah. To be safe. These are ones, here's what they're looking for. Now, you guys, each one of you are a small business, right? They loop you in with every, walk down Canton Street, every little boutique clothing store, drive down Holcomb Bridge Road, every independent mechanic who, has a garage, who changes oil and fixes cars. You're all the same to them. It's a small business. Places like that are what it's technically built for. It's built for you guys with a service area. You drive all over to talk to people. It's built for dog grooming companies with a van that do that. They drive wherever. It's made for small clothing stores and boutiques and stuff. What they do is they put a video up one time, which is kind of what keyed everybody into this, about how to, best use your Google Business profile. And then the example that they showed was a clothing store in the change of season when they still had some coats in their little clothing store. And that store was a third the size of this room. I mean, it was a small business. A customer walked in off the street, but it wasn't huge. And the owner got out their phone and showed the coats and made a little 20-second video like, hey, look, it's getting hot. It's 83 today outside, and it's going to be getting hotter and hotter. And we still got coats. So I can't take it anymore. Officially, these coats are 50% off for the next 3 days. Come in here, grab one of these. They're fantastic coats, and you can use it in 6 months. And that's all they did. And so that tells us, okay, that's the model in Google's mind, because they paid a ton of money to shoot this video of this interaction happening. That's what they're thinking Google Business profiles are leaning for, types of businesses like that. You can do the same thing by talking about your open house. For the love of God, don't ever make one that says, if you'd like to buy or sell a home, please call me. They see real estate or realtor by your name. They're not calling you for an oil change. If they want to buy or sell a house, they're going to do it because you gave them great information. Now they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And they're going to do business with you. They're not going to do it if you just ask them to. Okay. So make sure you use Google Business Profile appropriately for that. And I know the last thing anybody wanted to hear was that there's yet another social media platform to update. But this is what they are turning into. They tried it once before. Does anybody remember Google Plus, Google One? They tried to compete with Facebook and everything else. And it didn't work. No one adopted it. So what they've decided to do then is say, fine, if you're not going to use our Google business profiles like a social media platform like Facebook, then we'll make you. Because if you want to get up more in the search, you're going to have to play by their rules. It's Google. They make the rules. We just live in their world, and you got to use it. Somebody did ask me yesterday uh, when I was making an appointment with them also to set up theirs, Dominique, that if they should set one up on Bing as well. And I was like, yeah, that's what I said. Microsoft's search engine to try to compete with Google. They have about 6% of the market share. Yeah. And I'm like, do you focus on something with 90+% of the market share and crush that, just kill it? Or do you focus on something with 6% of the share that's declining every time? I'm like, don't worry about that right now. If you get your Google business profile up and running and you're amazing and you're killing it, you got, your search result and everything's coming in, and then you find yourself with some spare time, yeah, set one up on Bing too, whatever. Don't spend time doing that if you don't have the other one up and running, fully fleshed out, fully kick and tail. You know what I mean? You got to focus where all the people are. Now, that could actually change a little bit over the coming years, depending on how successful Microsoft's AI is versus Gemini or Google. We don't know. But if it does, I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm literally serious, would be the first one to tell you. We had Worrell went to something. Oh my gosh. He went to something where they were talking about in Atlanta for realtors, and they were talking about changes in technology and things that were coming down the road. And he came back and he came straight over to me and he goes, I got to tell you something just happened. I said, what? And I don't remember what the topic was, but they really spent a lot of time like hounding on it. They were like, look, you guys are getting this here first. And and Morrell said, he goes, I looked at the guy next to me and went, no, our marketing guy at work at the brokerage told me about this 5 months ago. Like we literally were that far ahead of it. And they were just up there rolling out like this is gonna change your life. It's like I don't know why you're so excited about this. So that's one of the reasons we try to stay on the forefront of that stuff with you guys, and we spend a lot of time reading, a lot of time asking questions and getting answers, so we can tell y'all that better equip y'all to go do what you need to do. So yeah, that's SEO and AI and how Google Business Profile has changed right there. Any more questions on that before we move on? Yes. 5 questions asked of you and answered by you on there. And here's something too we learned in this big report that came out into March. Well, second week of April. The questions, what we had known all along, they just verified it, that these questions are being spot checked and verified by Google. Part of their AI is now doing that. So they cannot be opinion-based questions. You don't get credit for that. So if someone says, hey, Jay, is it a great time for me to buy an investment property? You cannot factually answer that question because you don't have enough data to do so. I tell everyone when you do that, and if they said, Jay, is it a good time for me to buy an investment property? I don't know. Did you buy a boat 2 months ago? Probably not. Did you get, are you changing jobs right now? Probably not. Like there's tons of reasons not that you would not get approved or be able to do it. So better question would be, hey, Jay, what's the average, how much has, I'm thinking about buying an investment property in Roswell. How much has the average home price increased in the last 12 months, year over year in Roswell? That's a factual question that the answer is in FMLS, in MLS, period. And you can look it up, and so can Google. They can go, yep, $108,313. Yep, they know. Like they can find it and then go, this business knows what they're doing. That's a great question. That's a great answer. And now they get pushed up a little more every single time that you check one of their check boxes. So make sure that the folks haven't asking you questions or asking you fact-based questions, not opinion-based. Yes, sir.
For every box we check, is there a criteria that's posted on their thing? Or
no, this is in their algorithm. And they look, you hear Mike say it all the time that you want this whole thing to be hard. So do they. And here's why they want it to be hard, because the scammers, the bots, the weak businesses that are going to do a bad job for their customers anyway, none of those things are going to do the hard to get their business to where it should be. Their goal is by the end of this year to have reduced 47% of all phishing, malware, and scam websites and products on Google. They're trying their best to increase their reliability for you so that therefore you then think, well, I only use Google. I'm not using any other search engines or anything because they always give me great information. And they put a ton, they don't do algorithm rewrites this big, but every like 3, 4 years. They make tweaks, but not like this. And again, they want it to be hard for small businesses to do this process. That's why they make you go in and click the little toggle switch on the days that you're open and type in the opening time and the closing time, because bots won't do that. Malware won't do that. Some guy who gets drunk and decides to start a business and set up a Google business profile ain't going to do that. Like they're trying to get all of this weak stuff, inaccurate data out of the system so that you guys, when you go there and when your customers go there, they get exactly what they're looking for, which is good data, good information. So you want that process to be hard, which is why every time I set one up for somebody, I'm like, I know I got to do all this. It's a lot of clicks. It's a lot of captcha. It's a lot of click on the images with the fire truck ladder. I know because the other things can't do that. So, so don't get frustrated at them when if it's a hard process, because all it's doing is helping you if you're willing to do that little bit. And honestly, this is nothing. This should take minutes. And if you're serious about it, under 30 minutes, and then a minute or two a day making an update of something, because text updates count. So if you go to your Google Business profile and hit update, you're like, okay, send, post, update. You're done. That is another huge thing. Thank you for bringing that up. She said, what about if you correspond with someone who gave you a review? Not only the questions that you answer, but the reviews. They did weight that this time around. You get much more boost now if someone leaves you a review and you comment back. If it is a great review, thank you so much for taking the time to say those nice words. We truly appreciate it. It was great doing business with you. Let me know. I'm here to help you. If it's a bad review, especially bad ones, they are expecting you Google is expecting you to go back and tell them, hey, I'm so sorry there was a misunderstanding here. If you would like to discuss it, here's my phone number. Please call me. I would be glad to discuss this, this issue with you or whatever. And I'll do whatever I can to make this right for you. Like they're looking for that now. instead of just hiding. Well, first of all, you can't delete it. Someone leaves you a bad review, it's a bad review. Secondly, if you ignore it, that just makes, well, Google thinks, and everyone else, by the way, who goes and sees it, thinks must have been a true interaction because they didn't say it wasn't. So, and for the love of God, do not be argumentative in reviews with people. That just makes you look like an a-hole, and then nobody wants to do business with you. Be apologetic, be humble, even if you did something wrong, especially if you did something wrong. Be apologetic, be humble, and say, "Hey, I'm happy to, to work it out with you. I'm so sorry you feel this way." Whatever. That's your goal. All right, is to constantly go back, check that thing. You'll get notification when you get a review. You get an email to your email address you set it up with. It says, "Hey, got a new review." Make sure you go. Get right back in there. Talk to them. Apologize or thank them, whatever the case is. Uh, and you're going to get lots more credit in their algorithm with that now. That's a lot. That's the key is not, there's not one magic pill. It's not like I can put up 7,000 photos and I don't have to do any of this other stuff and I win. The small businesses that win are the ones that do some of all of it on a regular, ongoing basis. So don't leave any of it out. Updates, photos, videos, all of those things. Oh, another one they mentioned. If you are closed for a holiday or something, they will actually email you in advance and say, "Are you probably next week? Are you open on Memorial Day, on Monday, the Memorial Day, 27th, whatever it is?" Um, don't just ignore that email and move on. Click on it to adjust your hours. It will take you to an option to say on Monday, May 27th, Memorial Day, I am closed or I'm only open these hours, special holiday hours, and update that. You actually get credit in their algorithm for doing that. Again, because they see you as a legitimate business now. A legitimate business would. Like if you're Chick-fil-A, you don't have on there you're open 7 days a week. You went in there and went, "Close on Sunday." Sorry, everybody. Uh, no nuggets today. They took the time to go in and actually do that. You have to do that as well. And they reward you for doing so, for being interactive and communicative with your potential clients and the people who find you on Google with factual data about how your business is actually running. That's where you get the reward. You got to do that. You got something? Okay, I thought your hand went up. But all right. What else we got? That was good questions. That was really good. Somebody else got, I know Axel has something. No, I called him Axel.
On the events, what we need for fair events and all kind of outdoor.
What stuff you need? What are you doing? It depends on what you're doing.
This time we had this meeting, you say you were coming up with something.
Like a list.
Um,
Yeah, well, I have a master list of things that you would need, and then I started going over it and it varies on event. So if you do a certain kind of event, then you would need a certain type of setup. If you were doing another kind of event, you might also need a tent or something, which they have a tent here that you can borrow. Um, if they're if you're doing something indoors and it's very small and they provide you the table and everything, and you go up, and there's an empty table and an empty chair, then that's a very small setup that you would. You guys shouldn't need to borrow no more than you do this. You shouldn't need to borrow stuff anyway uh, from anyone else, um, or buy it on your own because the brokerage has a lot of this stuff. The table cover, the tent, the stand-up things, the little bend-over flag thing that says Century 21. Um, So yeah, you should not need to get any of that stuff on your own. You can talk to the help desk in advance. And I will tell you this, there have been two instances so far this year, so far, at least that's the only two that I know of, but there may be more of people who have decided on Thursday to do an event on Saturday. And they're like, what do you mean I can't get the thing or whatever? We're like, it's 48 hours away. Someone reserved this 4 weeks ago for this. So the minute you decide to do one, I would go ahead and lock some stuff down if I were you. Get your name on the list. The same thing happens, by the way, side note, with video requests with Zach. When you know you're going to record a video, let us know so that we can get him on the calendar, because texting an hour beforehand going, hey, you wait, Zach can come shoot a video or something with me. It's like, come on, this other person, we got this request 3.5 weeks ago. It's on the calendar and locked in. So the things that we don't have extras of, like tents and tablecloths and event materials and that kind of stuff, those things I would lock them down as soon as I could for an event. And that's just a tip to help you make sure you get done what you need to get done. You definitely need information about you. And one of the good things in our new platform, by the way, there are some templates in there that you'll be able to pull together and print. So you have your materials that you for your tabletop when you go do an event. Yes. Yep. There are templates in there for that already. And the great thing about that platform while we're on that is you'll be able to customize it, or we can customize it per agent. So when you go into your dashboard, there's yours. They look like you, they feel like you. All you have to do is maybe tweak one or two things for that one. Again, you can do it from your phone or on your desktop, and then you're off and running. April Rogerson's is always going to be colorful and super duper duper colorful. Sasha's is going to be super duper duper colorful. And Bob's will be bland. Just kidding. Not really. They will be, khaki and white and black. Um, so I'm excited to see how they start vary, because we can see them all. And I can't wait to just start scrolling through the agents ones going, that's a creative person. And, looking down there at all the lists and all the colors. Because it's going to be pretty incredible to see once the population of those things starts filling out. But other than tabletop stuff that uh, you need to be in a good mood. You need to smile a lot. You need to be. You need to be. I'm not going to put that on here. Um, we'll leave that one alone. You need to be. I was going to wait till I actually did one in here. I'm 5 minutes over, but I want to take 60 seconds to tell you this. Because this past weekend, I was at a it wasn't a huge event, it was a medium-sized one, I guess, and I saw it happening again with different organizations, and it happened to me before in the past. When I would roll up there, people would be doing this. Um, you got to get out from behind that booth and that table. It is a barrier to them having communication with you. You need to be in front, a couple of feet in front of it, so that you can shake people's hands, hand people things, stop, answer questions. People will have questions. Um, and you need to be able to talk to them and then guide them over to your table. But there shouldn't be anybody behind your table unless somebody else is working it with you. I don't know if you have your son working it with you or something, he's behind it, but he can't be back there playing on his phone. People see that and they immediately see disinterest. They are not interested in actually talking to me or having a conversation. They're just filling space. Don't be that person. That's you're going to get like zero results from that, or very, very minimal. You know what I mean? Get out there and show people that you're knowable, you're likable, and you're trustable. I don't know if all three of those are. I don't know if they're words, but I kind of just like made them up. And yeah, if crustable can be a word, then trustable can be a word. Trustworthy. That's the word. Knowable, likable, and trustworthy. If you do that, you'll be good to go. All right, I got to get out of here. I will tell you if there are more questions. I know I love it. Let's save them for the next one. And if you can't be here, by all means, jump on the Zoom. And otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Selena, and I'm going to get back over there and work on this thing for you guys. So for this session, let's go to work. Right. Good one.